It was exactly midnight when my phone suddenly rang, pulling me out of a deep sleep. Still half awake, I answered the call. It was Palash, my coworker. Nishad, where are you? He asked. The hospital just called. We need to transport a body tonight. Get to the hospital as soon as possible. I'm heading there too. I left the ambulance there earlier. I glanced at the clock and sighed. At this hour, I just went to sleep. Sleep can wait, Palash replied. This job pays well, really well. I made a deal for a good amount of money, and I'll make sure you get your share too. Just get here. Before I could argue, he hung up. A few minutes later, after washing my face and letting my mother know where I was going, I headed to the hospital. By the time I arrived, Palash and a morgue attendant had already loaded the body into the ambulance. There's a fuel drum near the driver's seat, Palash said. Fill up the tank. We've got a long drive ahead of us. I did as he asked. Once the tank was full, I shut and locked the rear doors of the ambulance. Are any family members coming with us? I asked. Palash climbed into the driver's seat. No, they'll follow in another vehicle. Hop in. A doctor handed us the paperwork, and within minutes, we were on the road. As the city lights faded behind us, I finally asked the question that had been on my mind. Where exactly are we taking this body? To a remote village deep in the hills of Rangamati, Palash replied. The answer immediately made me uneasy. Traveling at night with a dead body was unsettling enough. Doing it through isolated mountain roads made it even worse. What if something happens? I asked. Those roads are dangerous. There could be robbers out there. Palash laughed. You worry too much. We'll be fine. He lit a cigarette and continued driving. Hours passed. Eventually, we left the highway and turned onto a much smaller road. Hardly any vehicles traveled there. A couple of hours later, the paved road ended. Ahead of us was a muddy dirt road filled with potholes and broken sections. Palash stared at it in disbelief. You've got to be kidding me, he muttered. The guy told me the road was good. He immediately called the deceased man's son. You said the road was fine, Palash complained. This place is a mess. How is anyone supposed to drive through this? The man replied calmly. Everyone manages. I'm paying double fare, remember? Just keep going. Village roads are always like this. The call ended. Palash shook his head, as if double fare fixes the road. Still, he carefully drove the ambulance through the mud and potholes. The vehicle bounced violently, but eventually we made it through. The road ahead was slightly better, but dense jungle surrounded both sides. The deeper we went, the darker and quieter everything became. Then suddenly, we saw a woman standing beside the road. She was dressed entirely in white. She raised her hand, signaling for us to stop. I was about to say something when Palash suddenly spoke. Don't say a word. Instead of slowing down, he pressed harder on the accelerator and drove straight past her. I looked back through the window. Why didn't we stop? I asked. She looked like she needed help. Palash smiled. Look ahead. I turned toward the windshield. The moment I did, my blood ran cold. The same woman was standing in front of us again. My eyes widened. What the hell? We just passed her. Palash drove past her a second time without slowing down. Nishad, he said calmly. I've been driving corpse ambulances for years. I know when something isn't right. What do you mean? That woman isn't human. A chill ran down my spine. She sensed the body in the back of this ambulance. Whatever she is, she's been following us. I swallowed hard. You're serious? Palash nodded. If we had stopped, things could have gone very badly for us. After that, neither of us spoke. The darkness outside felt heavier than before. Then a few minutes later, something happened that was even more terrifying. The first two times, the woman had been standing beside the road. This time, she was standing directly in the middle of it. My heart began pounding. "Palash," I whispered. "What do we do now?" "Stay calm." Without hesitation, he pushed the accelerator all the way down. The ambulance raced forward. I braced myself for impact. But what happened next was impossible. There was no crash, no scream, nothing. It felt as though the ambulance had passed directly through her body. For a moment, neither of us said a word. The road ahead stretched endlessly into darkness. I turned back slowly, but she was gone. Only silence remained. The jungle on both sides felt closer now, like it was watching us. Palash kept driving, his face expressionless. But I could tell something had changed. Something wasn't normal anymore. And deep inside, I realized this was not just a delivery anymore. It was something far worse. To be continued.